Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Sherry and today I've got another super addictive sweet treat for you. And this one is really close to my heart because it originated right here in St. Louis. So I will be honest though, it's not the prettiest cake in the world. It's real flat and it's dense and there's no decorations on it. But today I'm going to do it a little bit different. We're going to make it special and we're going to do a strawberry gooey butter cake. So what I like about this is the top kind of looks like vanilla and the bottom kind of looks like strawberries. It almost has like an ombre color to it. Now I will say this is the second one I've made today. So I had two different cake mixes. Now this one here is the Betty Crocker Super Moist Strawberry. And it is a lighter color than the other one I used today, which was either Duncan Hines. Yeah, I think it was Duncan Hines. And it had a prettier strawberry. So if you're really wanting to go for that ombre look I'm talking about, you'll want to get the other one because this one is almost white. Anyway, to get started, you're going to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees or 325 if you have dark pans. And then you're going to go ahead and spray a 13 by 9 pan. And we're going to set this out of the way. And then I've got a stick of butter here that I already melted. Into this, I'm going to add an egg. And I'm going to add my cake mix. One of the things I find so funny is that I just got done chopping up strawberries for this and I can barely smell them. I don't know if it's because they're not in season or what, but I can smell the strawberry in the cake mix. All right, we're going to set this out of the way. We'll get this out of the way and then we're just going to stir this together until it's all incorporated. Okay, so as you can see, it's starting to come together now and it almost resembles a cookie dough and that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to do the rest of the work with my hands. And we're just going to grab it up just like we would cookie dough. Make sure I've got all of it. And then we're going to take it and we're going to press it inside of our 13 by 9 pan. So this is what is going to form our crust. So I'm just going to press it down and make sure it's all even. The strawberry smells so good. It makes me miss summertime. It's like, I don't know when you guys are watching this, but it's mid-January right now. All right. Yeah, I think the story was, I think he was a German baker. It was either in the 30s or the 40s. I've read several different stories on this. But I guess he flubbed up his ingredients and he ended just up calling it a gooey butter cake and people fell in love with it. And here we are, been making it ever since. I think down in the South they call it an ooey gooey butter cake. All right, so I'm going to set my crust aside. And the next thing we want is a block of cream cheese. And I'm going to add 3 eggs to this. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of lemon juice. And I'm using my Pampered Chef citrus press, which I love. So you put your citrus in upside down if it'll fit. Otherwise, you can put it the other way. But what it does is it turns your citrus inside out. So it literally gets like every little last drop. Isn't that cool? So I'll put the link to that in the description below. And we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to give it a whirl with our mixer and hope I don't make a mess. All right, that looks good. Okay, so one other ingredient, actually 2. The next one we're going to add, though, is a half a bag of powdered sugar. Don't freak out. I know that is a lot. And I'm going to add, actually, you know what? I'll just go ahead and add it all in. Otherwise, it might be hard for me to measure. I'm being lazy today because this isn't like a normal cake that has baking soda and baking powder. There's not much of a science to this, so I don't know that it really matters. So I'm just going to go ahead and stir all this in. So we're just going to stir until this is all incorporated. All right, so it's mixed in pretty well, but I want to go ahead and scrape my sides and make sure I don't have a bunch of powdered sugar stuck to the bottom of my bowl. And then I am going to go ahead and take my mixer. So this is going to be the gooey part of the cake. That's going to be the crust, and this is going to be the gooey part. I'm going to take my mixer. I'm just going to run through it a little bit more just to make sure everything's nice and smooth. All right, this is looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and release my beaters. I would normally probably lick these, but It's got like 3 eggs in it. Not that that's ever stopped me before. Okay, one last ingredient to add in, and that is 3/4 of a cup of fresh chopped strawberries. So I'm just going to kind of fold these in by hand. Isn't that pretty? Look at those colors. It reminds me of spring. All right, and then we're going to take our cake mix and we're going to just put this right over the top. There we go. And I'm just going to smooth it out all the way to the edges. And there you have it. Normally if I had cakes, I usually bang them around on the counter a little bit. Make sure they're smooth and get all the bubbles out, but I don't think it's going to matter with this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pop it in the oven, and it's going to take about 35 to 40 minutes, and then I'll show you what it's going to look like. I just pulled my cake out of the oven, and it looks phenomenal. So I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm not going to cut into it or take a bite simply because this is a cake that is best eaten on about like the 3rd day. You want to give it a time to kind of firm up, and yeah, I know it sounds crazy. At least 2 days. So I wanted to show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven though. It has nice little crispy edges. It almost kind of puts me to mind of creme brulee, how it has that crackly crust. It doesn't look crackly now so much, but as it cools down, it will. So it'll be nice and gooey on top, and then it'll have that nice cake crumb layer, not crumb layer, but crust on the bottom. Anyway, I don't have to bite into it to tell you it's really, really good because I can smell it. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe so you don't miss any more recipes or tips, tools, tricks for the kitchen, and hit the notification as well, and I will see you next time. Bye.